and shine, wild ones. It's Bernadette. I'm here with your pick a card. I'm here with your pick a card tarot reading. I don't even know. It's Friday. What is the date? It's the 19th. Usually I sit and I meditate a little bit when I pull a card, and then I'm like, okay, what does everything mean? Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can see the hair standing up on my arms. I got goosebumps everywhere. So first of all, thank you so much for all the, oh my God, the messages of love that came through from yesterday. I thank you so much. And it was, I feel kind of badly. You guys are like, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm fine. And it's really all about you, but it's about all of us. But anyway, so, I ate my Wheaties this morning and took my B12 and took my vitamins and everything. And my hair's all a big hot mess still this morning. But so I sat down and I drew this card. I can't even believe it. Okay, so listen, y'all, the Manta Ray, the Temperance card, right? Okay, so you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. So I was like, this morning, the intention that I set was, okay, listen, yesterday was like a crazy deep dive, and I got to be honest, Animal Allies, I just don't want any more of it today. Can you cut me a slack, and just what's best for the, what's best for the collective, but could it just be a little magical? Today is Friday. It's the day of love. It's the throat chakra day. I'm wearing my blue. I got on my sparkly, celestial things going on, because it's always important that we remember we're this, we are star seeds, and, we're made of stardust, and, all that kind of thing. So here I sit, I'm shuffling, and I'm shuffling, and I'm shuffling, and nothing is like, there's no call to like, pull a card. And I was like, okay, funny people, wham. The Temperance card comes literally flying out of the deck, whammo bammo, on my desk. And all I could do was just go, I don't even, like, grateful. Like, that's not even a word. It's not even a word. Because yesterday, I just told you guys, through all the snot and the tears and the trying to pull it together and be a professional, that I had an angel story to tell you. And this is the angel, right? This is, but the Temperance card in traditional tarot card meanings, it's an angel, and it's the balance of the masculine and the feminine, and it's the sign of miracles, and oh my God, it's just everything. It's like balance and moderation, and take a look at all, both sides of a perspective. And it's such an alchemic card, right? There's so much alchemy in this card. It's like when you've got a vision of what you want, it's a long vision, and it helps you get there. And it's about higher learning. And then we talk, okay, I'm stumbling. I know I am, but I just have so much to tell you guys that, well, the first thing, let me just go back 1 second. I'm telling you, if you've never believed in tarot, if you've never believed in spirit, totem, and power animals, I got your proof right here. Because again, if we connect yesterday's reading to, I've got a huge angel story to tell you, and it was in an effort to get my dying once upon a time fiance to Texas, where he could die in a place that he wanted, that was home to him. It was like, it was his soul. It was, okay. So now an angel shows up, and then the card is about the long vision. The card is about doing the best job that you can. You've got angel energy watching over you. Now you've got other divine energy watching over you. You've got perfect harmony happening. And so what you all don't know is this. So my kooky friend that goes along with me on my crazy meet the animals trips, which I've set a goal. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I've set a goal. I want to personally meet every animal that's in the Arc Tarot. And once I've met all of those animals, then I'll move on to the animals that are coming in the book, which, by the way, I think I'm going to start my Kickstarter on March 22nd. The book, 300 animals in the book, and, it's a 700-page book, y'all. It's a compendium. It's no joke. It's 9 by 11. It's meant to be like the be-all, end-all, not in an egotistical way, but just so you guys have a resource that talks about animals that people never talk about, and different ways of looking at them and working with their energy. Anyway, what you all don't know is my kooky friend is like, okay, well, now that you've done the manatee thing, let's go bigger. And I'm like, what does that mean? So she says, well, in Atlanta, which is only 5 hours from me, at their aquarium, they'll dump you in the tank with the giant manta rays, the whale sharks. I think they're whale sharks. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have an enduring phobia about sharks. So I'm going to do it. I am. And I know I'm not going to freak out underwater, but I'm going to do that. So it's giant mantas, whale sharks, and giant sea turtles. Oh my God, giant sea turtles. So I'm doing it. I'm going to meet the mantas. So this card came out, right? Like literally just this week, we were having this conversation about this, literally just this week planning our trip. And then, me and my geeky factoid about the animals. So I look up facts about manta rays. Okay, get this. When their babies are born, which are precious few, they only give birth every other year, right? So that's 2. That number, okay, goes in perfect balance, right? The number 2. And then specifically this article reads, and they're born wrapped up like burritos. What were we talking about yesterday? The Mexican culture. And all I could hear was my Dante, and I'm now calling him my King of Swords, just so you know. All I could hear was his giggle. And all I'm going to say is, again, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Oh my gosh. I don't even have the words for it. But it's such a great lesson in how Spirit is always with you for whatever you need. Whatever needed to transpire yesterday during, the reading, it was meant for all of us. And today, like any good, taker carer of her, the universe, our self, that is the universe, and the spirit animals, we're all the same thing, right? Has come back to say, okay, it's time to laugh again, because that's my way of reaching people, right? Predominantly, that's my way of reaching people, is through humor and through humor. So I'm just saying it now. Thank you to the Animal Allies, because you sent there couldn't be a more perfect animal to be sent. And the thing about it is that whole thing just goes on and on and on and on and on. And what all of that means is the word manta is actually the Spanish word for blanket or cloak. What were we talking about? The Mexican culture yesterday. It's a Spanish culture. They speak Spanish, and it's blanket or cloak. So the interpretation here today is, please understand that the Animal Allies today, of all days, are they always are, but today is like the day. You're being cocooned in blankets made of angel wings, right? In divinely blessed, divinely, just divinely blessed blanket or cloak of miracles, of beauty, of love, of just of every dang thing, okay? And so now you take a look at what the biggest message was. Gosh, I hope you guys got this message through all my blubbering yesterday. It was about sacred scribing yesterday. It was about taking up the pen, whatever that means to you, taking up the pencil, taking up your sacred sword, and doing sacred scribing. I got to thinking later on yesterday, I thought, I was told this. I was like, you failed to mention Zorro. How do you talk about Mexico and Spanish things and didn't talk about Zorro? And that wasn't me thinking that. That was like something that was sent through me. But it did bring up a very good point where, Zorro did his, I am Zorro. And that was a big call about putting your mark on something. Now, I'm not suggesting you take out a literal sword or a steak knife or something and although you might be a carver. Like, this message might be for you because you're wanting to start carving again, or maybe you do ice sculptures. I don't know if you do ice sculptures. Oh my gosh. Let us see. Y'all, the forums, I promise, as soon as Amazon gets my email out of the sandbox, which should be sometime today, I'm opening those puppies, and we're going to talk, and we're going to share pictures, and I'm going to do lives that are going to go there. Woo! Very exciting stuff. So that's part of the message from today, but that's also a lend over from yesterday. As emotionally charged as yesterday's reading was, please tell me you heard the pick up your sacred sword and do your sacred sword thing. Please tell me. And please tell me you started, like you were like, okay, if that's not a big enough sign, nothing else will ever be. I better get on the stick. I better get on the sword. Okay. So the reason I say that is, dig this. So manta rays actually have the largest, I want to be sure I tell you this right. The largest brain to body weight ratio of any living fish. Do you know what that makes them smarter than, in theory? A dolphin. And listen, dolphins and whales, who doesn't know? They're like smarter than every other thing walking the plate, the face of the earth, except for, okay, well, elephants and bears and, all that kind of thing. But that's a lot of brain power. And when you talk about mixing the divine of angels, okay, because they are sea angels, and you talk about mixing that with like earthly intellect, you're talking about a well of creativity, an ocean of creativity that's never ending. It is divinely inspired every dang time. Divinely inspired every dang time. And you know what? I may start the hashtag divinely inspired, dang it. And so, please, 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 and especially in your communication today, because remember, today we're ruled by Venus, right? The love. We are in our throat chakra. What is the water? It's all, it's blue. Okay. Your throat chakra is blue. You really could think of your throat chakra as a sword, so to speak, or as a sacred scribe of some kind, because anything really that gets words out, brings those words, gives them birth into this world, can be considered scribing. It doesn't have to be pen to paper or on a computer or but speaking it out loud, that's the sacred part and the scribing part, right? Okay. And if you've been thinking, oh man, this is perfect. So I did a reading for a gal here just recently, and man, she wants to be a professional reader. She just was not sure of was she good enough? And so during her reading, literally this took 3 minutes, all of 3 minutes. I just asked her to please take a couple of deep breaths. And then I said, set the specific intention of giving Bernadette a message that is helpful to her in this moment. Okay. So she kind of whiffed on the first 2 tries. I could watch her not breathing. I could watch her not going under, to get in theta state. And so we tried the 3rd time, and man, like that, she just went down. And when I say go down, like if you ever take a class with me, you'll know it's like, it's going under. It's that complete place of relaxation. Everything is open. You're breathing. You're in a different, not even meditative. You're in a theta state where you can really get the messages. And she started talking about the throat chakra. And then she said a few other things I didn't remember at the moment, because I was like, that's interesting. And I asked her another question, not leading questions, but when you're wanting to give a message to somebody, just pinpointing a spot on their body or what they're feeling or whatever, that just tells you and the client that you're tapped into their energy, right? That you're sitting in their energy. It doesn't give, that's not a message, right? So I said, well, what's the message? And she said, well, just let it go. And it was her reading, so, and she didn't want to she wasn't getting a coaching, she was getting a reading. And I was like, okay, good enough. Now let me tell you what's going on, and I'll share with you guys. I said, well, unbeknownst to you and unbeknownst to everybody else, I've really been struggling emotionally because I used to for real be able to sing. And you guys have been very kind and very complimentary on my voice when I play around and I sing, but I mean, I could for real. And because of the damage done to my lungs in this whole area here when I was sick, really sick in 2019, and then, to the middle of 2020, to summer, I can't sustain notes the way I used to. I used to have perfect pitch, not so much anymore. And I've just been considering getting a vocal coach to see if I can get back to that. Now, Bernadette doesn't want to be a professional singer, but I don't even know how to describe the feeling of when that sound rolls up and it rolls around in your heart chakra and comes up from your diaphragm and just comes out, and you hear and you feel all the vibrations and the echoes. I have to say, it doesn't matter whether you can sing or not. it's the feeling of freedom, of letting that out. So one of the big lessons today is, and she let me go back to this. So she was really shocked. She was like, oh my gosh. And hopefully that gave her enough courage to rethink the, I'm not good enough. Because gosh, she did it in like 3 minutes, right? Okay, not like there's a time frame and you don't put an egg timer on when you read for people or yourself. But what that proved to her was, hey, you're up against the timer now. Hey, you're being watched now by someone who's been doing this for a long time. So that is such a call. Especially because I correlate that with how the mantas will come up out of the water and it looks like they're flying. And they are. And do you know, to this day, scientists have absolutely zero idea why they do it. And I'm a country girl, okay? A country girl from a Jewish family who just thinks that really Occam's razor, the simplest answer, is usually the right answer. Maybe because they just want to. Maybe they like the feeling of flying. Hey, maybe they're like the Little Mermaid. I want to be where the people are. They want to see things above their world, and I don't mean like above, like they're more important, but, above and below. So that's a real call for you guys today with anything in your throat chakra. Make sure it's divinely inspired. Make sure you know that it's divinely inspired and just let it rip. I don't care if you can't carry a tune in a bucket. I don't care. Just let her rip. But again, be sure it's divinely inspired, right? That's different than coming from a place of love. Divinely inspired is really usually, well, not really usually, it is about messages. Whatever you're downloading, if you're leaving yourself open to the downloads, sing it strong, Karen Carpenter, right? Sing out loud, sing all day long. Okay, don't worry that you're not good enough for anybody else to hear. Say, oh my God. Okay, so I'm not going to put that earworm in your ear, right, Hops? Yes, Hops says so too. All right, so angels have visited us today on this Friday, and manta rays have taught us to fly and taught us that they're very happy to deliver a joke from the other side because their babies are burritos, and we were just talking about Mexico. You know what? I'm going to, oh my, I'm going to dinner tonight with a friend, and you know where we're going? To the Mexican place up the street. I'm going to order vegetarian burritos just in honor of this reading today. I'm swanning, I am. We're done here, you guys. Okay. I love you all very much. Thank you so very much. I'll be back tomorrow and through the weekend and every day. And as always, stay wild.